Hey, it's Niall. I'm here at Kilkenny Castle, wandering around the place, having a look at a few things with my lady, who's not paying any attention to me at all.
Hi.
It is a bit windy today, but I'm going to tell you a few things about working online and a few things about this here castle behind me. So we'll start with the castle. This castle was built in 1195, so more than 800 years ago, and it is now one of the most visited tourist sites in Ireland. And it was privately owned until 1967, but then the owner sold it to the people of this city for the grand sum of £50. And who turned up at the handover ceremony except Mick Jagger? Yep, he was here celebrating the handover of the castle to the people of Kilkenny. And if you've ever heard of, what's her name, Anne Boleyn, I think that's how you pronounce it. She was one of the wives of Henry VIII. Her grandmother was actually born in this castle. And I'll tell you as well about the city of Kilkenny. It was recently voted the 9th most friendly city in the world and the friendliest in Europe. So there you go. That's the history lesson. Now on to the work online stuff. So I have a question for you. Have you ever wanted a sandwich but been too lazy to make one? Of course you have. I've been there too. Actually, I'd quite like a sandwich right now and I couldn't be bothered making one. What do we often do when we find ourselves in that situation? Well, first, if I'm home visiting family in Ireland like I am now, I ask my mother to make me a sandwich because I have an Irish mammy and they're only too happy to make you a nice sandwich. Shout out to Mammy Doherty there in Schlievru. But let's say you're in the unfortunate position of not having an Irish mammy, or she's not available to make you a sandwich because you're off in Amsterdam or Thailand or some other mad place. What do you do then if you want a sandwich but you couldn't be arsed making one yourself? Well, quite often you just go down the road to your favorite sandwich shop and you pay another person real money to make you a nice sandwich. Now, the next time you're standing in the sandwich shop waiting for your 6-inch roast beef sub to get all toasty, ask yourself this: how long did it take the person behind the counter to learn their trade? How long did it take them to learn how to make a decent sandwich? Probably not very long, right? They probably got, what, like a day or two of training. Probably not even that, probably just an hour or two. And yet, these people behind the counter in the sandwich shop frequently have customers lining up to give them real money in exchange for their sandwich making skills. And here's the really interesting part. Every one of those paying customers is probably capable of making an equally delicious sandwich themselves from the comfort of their own kitchen. Actually, they can probably make an even more delicious sandwich at home themselves and make it at a much cheaper price. So what you have to wonder is, what kind of world are we living in when people pay other people good money to do things they could easily do or quickly learn to do themselves? I mean, what kind of crazy world is that? Oh wait, I know what kind of world it is. It's the real world, because it happens all the time. You and I pay people every day to do things we could easily do or learn to do ourselves. Every time you buy a sandwich or a coffee or take a taxi or get groceries delivered or pay someone to clean your apartment or do your laundry, we're doing this stuff all the time, paying other people to do things we could easily do ourselves. And this phenomenon of the real world is something I like to remind my students of whenever they tell me they don't have enough skills to start earning online, or when they tell me it takes too long to develop skills other people are willing to pay for. Let me make it very clear. You don't have to be an expert at something to deliver real value and start earning good money online. And that's because expertise is relative. And I'll say that again. Expertise is relative. What that means is you don't need to be the best. You don't need to be some kind of super expert at whatever work you choose to do online. You just need to be better than the people paying you. And sometimes you don't even need to be better than them. You just need to be willing and able to do things they'd rather not do themselves, like making sandwiches. But you know, we're talking working online here, so I guess they'd be digital sandwiches. No wait, there's no such thing as digital sandwiches. The equivalent of making sandwiches online, I suppose, would be things like writing basic articles, editing and proofreading, creating subtitles, doing research, social media management, that kind of stuff. All skills that you can probably already do, or at least learn to do very quickly. Now obviously, the more you develop your skills, the more value you can provide, the more in demand you'll be, and the more money you can make. But the point I'm making here is that you likely already have several skills that you can use online, that clients will happily pay you for. So don't go thinking you need to spend months learning how to program or something like that to start earning online, because you absolutely don't. Just like someone who gets hired at a sandwich shop doesn't require months of training before customers start paying them to make sandwiches. No, they can start doing that almost immediately. So again, don't make this working online thing more complicated than it needs to be. You probably already have skills you can use to get started earning online. If not, check out my hedgehog video and I'll guide you through a process to select a good skill. And you can also check out a video I made about rapid skill building. Ooh, look at this one doing somersaults behind me. And if you already have some skills, check out my video about how to earn your first $100 online this weekend. And in that, I'll show you a 3-step process for finding your first clients. All right, folks, I think that'll do it. Thanks very much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And hopefully I'll see you soon in the next one.